This puzzle is driving me bonkers. I can't twist it, I can't pull it. I don't know if this circle thing has anything. Oh, hold on a minute. I actually think I'm doing something. I think I might be almost solving it. Oh, I actually did it, you guys. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ. I have no idea what just happened, you guys. I don't think I was supposed to solve this box. I think there's someone else in here with me. Hello? Is someone out there? Jesus Christ, what are you?
Demons to some, angels to others.
Are you gonna hurt me?
Your suffering will be legendary.
Why are you here?
Time to play in hell.
Well, I don't really want to go to hell, to be honest. And if I have no choice, can these guys come with us?
We have such sights to show you.
They can? Well, that changes things a little bit.
Shall we begin?
Okay, let's begin. Well, I suppose, welcome back to the 13th hour, you guys, and it seems that we have no choice but to go and explore the further regions of experience. Why not deep dive into who Pinhead is whilst we're there? The 80s was an insane time for horror. We most definitely got some of our more memorable monster icons from this decade. We got Chucky, we got The Thing, we got Freddy Krueger, but the one we are here to deep dive into today is none other than the leading cenobite himself, Pinhead. Clive Barker's Hellraiser is definitely one of the most notable horror movies to come out within the last 50 years or so, generating 11 movies since the first one came out in 1987. You may not have noticed, but Pinhead barely had any screen time or any speaking parts from the first movie. Yet he made such an impact that Clive Barker saw no other option but to run with the now star of the show and ensure he was centre focus from there onwards. But who or what actually was Pinhead? And you may be surprised to know that Pinhead really is not as old as what you think he is. In fact, he was actually once human just like me and you. An English gentleman named Elliot Spencer, and he was born sometime around 1887, and as a young man was drafted to fight for his country during World War I in the 1920s. He seemed to be a pretty compassionate person, gentle, kind, but as many men do say, war changes you, and after participating in the Battle of Flanders and witnessing the absolute terror of war, he manages to lose his faith not only in mankind but in God. How can a God idly sit by when there is so much death and terror happening in the world? The war numbed Elliot Spencer, and it left him an empty shell of a man. Elliot suffered with PTSD and would explore the world trying to find quick forms of pleasure to help him ease the pain, even if only for a short while. It was on one of these trips somewhere in India that Elliot Spencer came across the lament configuration. He was a pretty smart man and was able to solve the puzzle. Once solved, he unleashed hooked chains which tore into his flesh. He was transported to hell, where this otherworldly entity cuts into Elliot's skin and hammers these pins into him. This was where Elliot Spencer was transformed into Pinhead. Elliot Spencer was completely torn from his human self. Everything was taken from him, from his human appearance, even to his memories. He had no recollection of being Elliot Spencer, and he was from then known as the High Priest Pinhead. This now cenobite was given powers. He was able to summon these demonic chains at his will. In the second movie, we see Kirsty, who was the protagonist from the first movie, and she's actually being hunted at the time by Pinhead and his followers. He's not the only cenobite, he has a group of them. We get to see Kirsty have a trick up her sleeve. And during her time with Dr. Chenard, she herself uncovered that Pinhead was once human. She actually kept a photo of his previous self. During the confrontation, she shows him the photo, and he seems not to have any idea who it is first of all, showing just how buried these human memories are. Kirsty forces them all, not just Pinhead, but all of the cenobites, to really think, forget their confusion, and remember. And somehow they do. Pinhead's memories of being human himself come flooding back. Now, we know the cenobites to be absolutely unforgiving and enjoy torturing. They don't know the difference between pain and pleasure. For them, they are one and the same. And this is the first time where we kind of see Pinhead and the other cenobites' humanity returning back to them, potentially ending what we know the cenobites to be, which is just creatures designed to cause pain and pleasure. It seems that Pinhead now has his memories and is considering what he has done or what he is doing. Kirsty and her friends were being chased by another bigger, badder cenobite at the time, and Pinhead actually helps them. He fights for them and gives the girls a chance to escape. Here's where it gets a little muddier to try and figure out if the cenobites are actually in control of their own actions. If the cenobites actually have any free will at all. The reason I say that is because from this scene demonstrates to us that Pinhead actually isn't that bad. Could whatever this other realm is that they've been taken to, this hell, could that have been puppeteering Pinhead and the other cenobites to act as cruel as they did, having no regard for the pain they were causing humans? Because this other realm, wherever they were, willingly took away the human memories, so that these people were an empty shell, and this thing, whatever it is in this world, was able to control these once humans much easier. What we also learn from the second movie is this hellish labyrinth is ruled by a godly figure called Leviathan, and it is said that Leviathan is the god of flesh and pleasure, which are the two biggest factors that drive the cenobites to do what they do. So could it be this god that is actually forcing these cenobites, these once humans, to do its dirty work for it? As time continues, we kind of see Pinhead transition from a creature that solely chases those who have opened the box or desire the pleasure of pain, and into a more biblical demon that would come after those who have sinned. We see references of the Ten Commandments and Judgment Day as the movies progress. Now for me, I don't know about you, but the later movies don't make much sense to me because that reputation doesn't seem to fit Leviathan at all. Why would this god be concerned with Christian values? Pinhead originally had no judgment and would understand those who had sinned, as for them, sinning was a form of pleasure, which is something he would promote. The world of Hellraiser is not just limited to those 11 movies, but there is actually a series of comics as well. And this is where we get to learn that Pinhead actually isn't Elliot Spencer, but Pinhead is its own thing, that the god Leviathan has the ability to take from a human and gift to another. Going back to Kirsty, we finally see her deciding to face her future head on, as she knows deep inside that there's no escaping. Once you yourself have solved the box, the cenobites will come after you forever. She, with the help of a friend, reopened the lament configuration, and with willingness, she enters the realm of pain and pleasure. She seems to believe that as a cenobite herself, that she can change hell for the better, and she orders her friend to destroy the lament configuration, hoping that that will demolish the link between Earth and hell. Kirsty makes her way to the godly being that is Leviathan. It seems to open up for her. With Pinhead already inside of the creature, he beckons her to come in and states, "It's time to begin." We get to witness this ritual between Kirsty and the Hell Priest as they together scalp Kirsty, and she, with a pair of pliers, remove Pinhead's nails one by one. And it seems these pins were what gave Elliot Spencer his cenobite powers. Out of nowhere, tentacles controlled by Leviathan himself begin painfully hammering the nails into Kirsty's skull and transforming Elliot Spencer back into his human self. Kirsty is morphed into the new Pinhead, has now been granted the position of High Priestess of the Cenobites by Leviathan. This gives me really big eldritch horror vibes. Could Leviathan actually be an eldritch god, kind of like a Cthulhu? We now know that this god has the ability to return these cenobites back to their human self and give them back their memories. Elliot Spencer is once again the man he was before opening the Lament configuration. But why would this god even choose to get rid of Elliot Spencer? Does Leviathan experience boredom? Or was he just after a new toy that he could control a little easier? It seems that Leviathan can actually bestow powers to these humans which are now cenobites using these cursed objects. For example, the pins giving Pinhead their powers. Could this mean that the other cenobites are bestowed their abilities the same way? The camera lens in the eye for the close-up cenobite, or the neck bars for the female cenobite? Could these cursed objects be the thing that allows Leviathan to take full control of you? I don't know if the cenobites really are in full control of themselves. I actually don't think that they're fully aware of the things they're doing. But what we have unearthed is that Pinhead, both the male and the female version, were just humans before they were the cenobites, which means any of us could become a cenobite. But the real question here is, are they aware of what they're doing? Do you believe they're in full control? Let me know what you guys think down below. Because I honestly believe that they are in some kind of control, but they're basically brainwashed. I suppose it's probably time for me to go and experience the realm of pain and pleasure myself. I doubt very much I'm going to enjoy this experience. However, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And if I do survive, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now.